everyone, today Amanda and I, Fernanda, are going to present to you our collaborative online international learning. It was a partnership between FATEC of São Caetano do Sul and Florida State University. This project aims at learning through its sharing of knowledge about different cultures, in this case between Brazil, the United States, and even Egypt. In 3 meetings, we talked to 2 students who shared all the information presented in this work about their culture. Throughout this presentation, we'll show you our group, especially from the United States, religion and traditions, habits and customs, to university life at FSU, viewpoint on some aspects of USA, some information about Egypt that you know are more forward, and what they didn't know about Brazil. Our group was composed by Amanda, me, Fernanda, and Paulo from Brazil, and by Steven Kamenetsky and Yomina Zayden from the United States. About Steven, he is 20 years old, he is American from Boca Raton, Florida, but now he lives in Tallahassee, also in Florida. He's majoring in marketing at FSU because he wants to go to the business field. His parents own a canned ice cream shop, so he currently works there. About Yomina, she's 20 years old, she's from Giza, Egypt, but now she and her family live in Panama City, Florida. They moved there in 2019, and since then, she's majoring in civil engineering at FSU. She chose this course because she's good at math and also because she thinks it's cool to see the fingerprints of civil engineers everywhere. At the moment, she doesn't work, but she's planning to start a civil engineering internship next fall. Religion and traditions. In this topic, I'll talk about religion, family traditions, and holidays. Our colleagues practice different religions. Starting with Steven, he and his family are Jewish. His favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. As you know, Thanksgiving Day is an American holiday that celebrates gratitude to God with prayers and celebrations. About family traditions, Steven told us that every Friday they celebrate Shabbat with candles, challah, prayers, and dinner. Challah is a kind of Jewish bread, and Shabbat is the day of rest for Judaism, which begins on Friday night and ends on Saturday night. This weekly rest is taken very much seriously by them. Now about Yomina, she and her family are Muslim. Her favorite holidays are known as the 2 Muslim Eids. The word Eid, E-I-D, means feast or festival in English. The first Eid is Eid al-Fitr, which means festival of the break of the fast. So, in this day, they can go back to the things they have abstained from. The second Eid is Eid al-Adha, which means Feast of Sacrifice. The second holiday is celebrated in memory of the prophet Abraham, who sacrificed his son as God's will. Also, each year, her whole family gathers, prays, eats, and sits together to celebrate these 2 Muslim Eids in her family traditions. The habits and customs. About some habits they have, the most interesting is about social media in our opinion, because they don't use WhatsApp as often as they do in Brazil. The social media most used by them to chat with others is SMS. They don't really use WhatsApp much, but Yomina said that in Egypt, people use WhatsApp more than United States. The next social media most used by them are Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. Another habit is to play and watch sports, especially Steven, who likes to watch baseball, basketball, football, and hockey games. In addition, Steven told us that, in his opinion, the best part of American culture is the multitude of sports. Yomina also plays sports, she likes swimming. Steven likes to play video games, and they both enjoy listening to music, watching shows, movies, and dramas. Yomina, for example, likes to watch Korean dramas. They both really enjoy to spend time with family and chill with friends. In our meetings, we realized that they highly value the time they spend together with their families. About greetings, it's really interesting. Here we have 2 types of greeting from different cultures. Starting with Egypt, basically there are 3 ways to greet each other: between women, between men, and between men and women. Among women, they usually give 2 kisses on the cheek and hug each other. Among men, it is normal for them to greet each other with 3 kisses on the cheek and hold hands. Among men and women, it is much more formal. It's common between them to greet each other with the hand under the left breast. they don't normally touch. In the United States, according to them, people usually greet each other by saying hi or hello without necessarily touching the other person. Among close friends, a hug or a kiss on the cheek may be more common. About favorite food or dish in their culture, Yomna chose koshari, which is an Egyptian national dish and considered an Egyptian fast food because it is a very popular street food. It is a vegan dish and the main ingredients are pasta, black lentils, tomato sauce, vegetable oil, and cumin. Steven, on the other hand, chose the famous typical American food, the hamburger. As you may already know, the hamburger is a sandwich that can have one or more ground beef hamburgers, placed between two slices of bread.
Talking about their college life, they told us that most students live on campus, which makes them more responsible and independent. There are not many parties as we see in the movies, but there are many clubs and extracurricular activities like sports. FSU is a college with a lot of cultural diversity, having students and teachers from different cultures. In Florida, there is more than one campus, and there are shops within these campuses. To finish this part, we asked them why did they choose FSU, and they told us that they chose it because of the quality of teaching and the proximity. Now talking about point of view on some aspects of American culture, according to Steven, the economic system supports individuals more than the whole society because capitalism allows for people to find their own ways to make money, and depending on how hard you work, the money will find individuals who work for it. He considers that US is an individualist country because people do their own things to support themselves, but the group is also important because sharing ideas allows for more ideas to be created. He said there are totally different classes within American society: higher class, middle class, and lower class. Lower class people tend to live in poverty and run down neighborhoods with worse schooling systems, while the rich live in huge states and live a wonderful life full of activities. In his family, men and women share the same roles, but he says some other families may have the men holding the majority of power. He considers his parents and siblings as close family because he lives with them, and as extended family, he considers his grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins because he does spend lots of time with them, but he doesn't live with them. We asked them what it's like living in the US following a different religion, and they told us that it's pretty normal, especially because in Florida there are a lot of immigrants, so people treat them very well. But Yomna told us that when she traveled to New York, she noticed some weird looks at her. Steven said the most common misconception about American society is that they are all fat people. He said he is vegetarian and lives a very healthy lifestyle as do many other Americans. Now talking about Egypt, Yomna is Egyptian, so she gave us a lot of information about her country and culture. According to Yomna, the economic system supports individuals more than the whole society. She said there are many different classes within the Egyptian and American societies. The lower class people are living in poverty. Some of them even have their children work instead of going to school. And she said that when you compare the lifestyles of the lower and higher class, you feel like they are living on different planets. For the Egyptian culture, she feels like most people tend to work in groups to succeed. However, there are still many people in Egypt that worked and succeed individually. She said her dad holds the most power in her family, and it's the same for families in Egypt. She considers parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins as close family, and as extended family, she considers parents, cousins, aunts, and uncles. In Egypt, children live with their parents until they get married or go to a distant college. Yomna said the most common misconception about Egyptian society is that Egypt is just a desert. Here we have some pictures of Egypt to show you the beauty of the country. We did a quiz for them, so I show you the things they didn't know about our culture. Well, they didn't know that our language is Portuguese, They thought it was Brazilian or Spanish. They didn't know who is the president of Brazil. They didn't know that Brazil is the capital. They thought it was Rio. They didn't know that Rio is the Brazilian currency. They thought it was Brazilian peso. And they didn't know that Brazil stays in Latin America. About our culture, they wanted to know about our food, so we showed them some Brazilian foods like feijoada, pão de queijo, and brigadeiro. We conclude that the development of this project allowed us to have a different perspective about cultural diversity present in the United States and to learn a little bit more about Egyptian culture. Well, that was our project. We hope you guys enjoy it and appreciated all the information we brought to you.